Alright, so I'm going to be replacing the battery on this 15-inch MacBook Pro mid 2014 model A1398. So first we're going to use a Pentalobe 1.2 or P5 screwdriver, and then we'll use a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, so first thing you want to do is remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them all in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. This customer, I don't know how, but they broke the cover to where some of the screws are underneath the case. Anyways, the way you keep track of them, just put them in on your desk with the flat side down like this. In the pattern you remove them, so in that rectangular pattern. Alright, and that's how you can keep track of them. If this video helps you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel so that I can continue making these videos for a living. These are, again, customer computers, so I don't own the computers that are in my videos. So by the time you see them, most likely I won't have them. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue removing all these screws. I don't know if those screws tore out the aluminum. I'll have to look closer at the cover once I get the bottom cover off. Or if the customer just took the cover off before and put the screws underneath. But anyways, there we go. We got all those screws out. Once you get all the screws out, you'll want to go from the back here and then just use your fingers and pull it up just like this. There are clips, so you might have to kind of wiggle it a little bit, but there we go. Alright, and we got the cover off. It's a little dusty here, so I will have to clean this up, but yeah. Alright, and the customer got the replacement battery. The replacement battery doesn't have this plastic piece here, but this plastic piece is only there on the models without the vibration motor. It's not really needed. Alright, so the battery replacement they got, again, doesn't have that piece, so you'll see when I replace that. Okay, so I'm going to clean out the dust here. I don't know how there's a 2014 MacBook, because this SSD, usually they only use this type of SSD, the wide one, on 2012 and 2013 MacBooks, so I'm a little confused now. But anyways, alright, I'm going to clean out the dust and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back, cleaned it out a bit. Alright, so here you can see it's a lot less dusty. We'll set the cover aside now. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, if you didn't already, make sure that the Mac is off. It looks like they left it on, so I'm going to have to force shut it off. Okay, they didn't give me the password, so I'm just force shutting it off by holding the power button. Alright, anyways, we're going to disconnect the battery, so to do that, if you've seen my other videos, let's go ahead and zoom in here. So the connector's like this, it's just resting on top, so I use both my fingernails on the corners here, and then I just pull it up just like that. So there we go. Let's zoom out. Alright, after you disconnect the battery, what you want to do is open it up and then press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. This makes it a lot safer to work on. Okay, so we'll just do that now. Alright, a lot of people ask me if they need to do this. I mean, you don't need to do any steps I show, but if you want to skip things and mess up your computer, don't blame me. Like, some people will be like, do I need to? I mean, it's like if I were to say, do I need to remove the screws? And then somebody just says, no, just rip it out. I mean, it's always a good idea to follow the steps. All right. So anyways, now we're going to lift out this plastic adhesive here. Okay, let's zoom in. All right. So, gotta peel this up. There's a sticker holding it down. Okay, so once you peel that up, there's a screw under here. This is a T5 or Torx 5 screw, so we're going to remove that. Okay, set that aside. Again, keep the screws in order because they are different size, shape, and lengths. And do the same thing with the other side. Peel that up as well. Okay, and then use the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver to remove that. There we go. On this model, it makes it a lot easier to to remove the screws from the speakers, at least the visible ones. So these speakers actually go underneath the motherboard, but to make the battery easy to remove, we're going to remove these two screws here. Again, keep them all in order. They are different size, shape, and lengths. If you mix up the screws, you can damage your computer. All right, so we got those two screws, and then there's two screws on this one as well. I need to be careful. I got lots of stuff on my desk right now. All right. Just like that. All right, now that we got all those screws out, we're gonna use a thin, flexible scraping or pry tool. So I use this. It's not sharp, it's not a knife, okay? So it's not gonna cause any issues with this. And the way I remove it, I turn the computer sideways like that. I rest this computer against my stomach so that way I can kind of push on this, all right? And then what we do is we wanna lift this up slightly. If you want, at this point, you can actually also clean this out because a lot of times the speaker here gets dust built up. This one actually doesn't look bad. But anyways, there we go. All right, so we're gonna take the thin pry tool and we're gonna get it underneath the speaker, and then we're just gonna scrape under to cut all the adhesive out. All right, so just like this. Then we're gonna move over and we're just gonna continue working our way over, just like that. Okay. Like this, working our way down. Okay, and there we go. And when you do this, you don't want to slide the tool side to side to cut the adhesive. You want to make sure to cut this way, okay? Because if you slide side to side, there's a good chance you will cut the outer layer of the battery. So here you can see we got this battery pack up. We can go over and do the same thing on the other side, okay? Same thing, lift up the speaker slightly. You don't want to lift too high. Again, it's underneath the motherboard. So if you pull too hard, you can actually break the speaker. Okay, so this side also, you can see there's some dust on the speaker. We'll clean that out as well. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get the pry tool or the scraping tool again and go underneath. And we'll just cut the adhesive like this. Okay. Just like that. Okay, pull it back out, move our way over, continue cutting the adhesive, and there we go. Just like that. Okay, so now we got this speaker out. I'm sorry, not the speaker. Now we got this battery pack up. We're going to continue going down to the other packs. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue like this. Okay. Continue our way working underneath the battery pack, just like this. All right, there we go. And then we're gonna tilt it over to the side this way, and we're gonna cut underneath that diagonal. All right, and then usually you can't really get into this edge, so what you do once you get that, you're just gonna pull this up like that and pop that out. We go, same thing with the other side. Get back underneath this, and we're going to cut the adhesive over like that. So this adhesive is actually really easy to cut. Usually it's not this easy to cut the adhesive. All right, we're gonna go at the angle. I hope that doesn't mean it's the annoying adhesive where I have to kind of scrape it all up. It might be. All right. So there we go. All right, so this middle pack is a bit more difficult, and you want to be careful because you don't want the tool to go this way or you can damage the cables underneath here. All right, so we're going to slightly go at an angle that way, and you have to raise this slightly up, the tool, because the trackpad area is raised higher. So if you can see here, there's that metal right there. So if you were to go straight down, you would hit that. So you actually want to go slightly above that, okay? So just like this. Same thing, lift the battery pack up, make sure to raise it high enough just to get under there. Again, we're angling it slightly to the left. All right, and we're just gonna cut underneath there. I'm getting a phone call right now. But, gonna have to just ignore it. Hopefully they'll text me. Okay, and we're just gonna keep sliding the tool underneath to cut the adhesive. Wow, this one's tough. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going, just like this. Okay, all the way down. You can actually see when the tool comes through to the other side here, all right? Just gonna keep working our way down. This. go. All right, so now you can check, make sure that it's all cut. Yep. All right, we'll go over to the other side and continue doing the same thing. If you want, you can peel off this adhesive stuff that sticks to it so that it's easier to keep working on it. All right, underneath here. Again, we're doing slightly at an angle away from the motherboard. Okay. Okay, go. Keep going. Adhesive is kind of sticking. Okay. Just like that. There. All right, there we go. So now we got all the adhesive cut up. Oops, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, now that we got all the adhesive cut up, we can actually lift this piece up, lift these up, and lift these. You want to lift them all at the same time, and then we can pull this out. Oh, there's a little adhesive stuck under there, so let's go ahead and get the tool this way and just make sure to cut all of it. Okay, I think it's out. There we go. All right, then lift it all up and pull it forward just like that. So there you go. Here you can see there's two little dots of adhesive there, and you can see we got all the adhesive off. Okay, so we'll set the battery aside, and then we're gonna have to get all of this adhesive residue stuff out. So I like to use this plastic scraping tool to do this, but you can do it however works. All right, so scrape it up. And then if you can, let's go ahead and peel it. All right, this one's good. It's peeling off somewhat easily. Okay. So once you get enough of it up, grab it and slowly peel it out. You don't want to peel too quick or it might just tear. Okay. And we'll slowly peel this up. There we go. Get all that residue out. Okay, this middle one's probably going to be a pain because it looks like it just all tore to pieces. Let's go to the other side. Same thing, scrape it, get a bit of it up, and slowly peel it back. Same thing with this one. Oops. Scrape that up, and slowly peel it back. Alright, we're getting there. This one's coming out pretty nicely. Okay. Just like that, and slowly peel it back. My customer's here. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause the video and I'll be back. Let's peel off this one last piece real quick. Okay. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit and then we'll continue. All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead and remove the adhesive from the middle parts. Let's see if it will scrape out as easily or if it's going to be a pain. All right, it's somewhat coming up. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to peel them though. Go. All right, so most likely we're going to have to remove most of this with rubbing alcohol, but we'll see. All right, let's see if we can peel. Okay, this is peeling up. All right. So here's the cable I was mentioning. If you're not careful and you use the tool and scrape that, then your trackpad's no longer gonna work. And then you're gonna have to replace that, and that can be a pain. You'd have to lift this metal plate up. It's held in with an adhesive. You have to basically peel this, pull it up. All right. and then there's some screws under there, but I'm not going to mess around with that. Okay. Looks like this is coming out pretty nicely. Wow, most of the adhesive on here is coming out nicely. All right, so it won't be too bad to clean up all this residue. There's still quite a bit, but hopefully it won't. Sorry about that. Looks like my phone overheated. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue removing all the residue. Okay. Almost there. All right. Now let's go ahead and remove this sticky residue stuff. So to do that, we're going to use some rubbing alcohol and paper towel. Okay. So what we're going to do, the easiest way is you take some rubbing alcohol and you just put it on this area. Okay. And then, oops, sorry, it's out of view. So I just sprayed some rubbing alcohol there, all right? And then I'm gonna use the scraping tool just to rub the adhesive residue around, and you'll see it turns to goop and it wipes off or scrapes off, okay? So we're just gonna keep scraping at it and getting all that adhesive residue goop out. Okay. I'm just gonna keep rubbing this adhesive residue out. Okay, you don't really want it to get underneath the speaker, though it's not really an issue because it evaporates and it doesn't really conduct electricity. But if the adhesive residue is in there and it goes underneath, it'll kind of get sticky and gunky underneath, so try and avoid it if you can. Okay. Alright. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to take a small piece of paper towel. I just tore off a piece. Okay, and then we're just going to wipe up that gunk. Okay. Usually it'll still leave behind a little residue, so I'll just get a paper towel, put some rubbing alcohol on it, and then we'll just rub it until it's completely cleaned up. Alright. Once you see it's all the same color, you should be good to go. There we go. So that's all good. We're going to do the same thing on the middle and the other side. Right? So we're going to go to the middle here. You want to be a little careful because if it goes under here, it will go into the trackpad. So I'm going to block it with my scrapey tool and spray some there. Okay, and then we're just going to get the rubbing alcohol onto the adhesive and just slowly scrape and rub it out. Just like this. Okay. Hopefully you can see that the adhesive residue is all coming out as we do this. Okay. Alright, you want to be careful for that little hole there. You don't want the rubbing alcohol and adhesive gunk to go in there. Okay, it's turning too gunky, so we're going to have to use some paper towel and wipe that up. Alright, continue on. guys can see, all that residue is slowly coming up. Can be somewhat of a pain. It helps to kind of let it soak, so if you want, you can actually just let it soak on there for a bit. You don't have to try and scrape it right away, but the scraping speeds up the process. Okay. See. Alright, let's clean that up again. Add some more rubbing alcohol. Scrape it up pretty nicely now. All right, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and wipe that goop up. Okay. Now let's fold it over. Let's get some clean rubbing alcohol on the paper towel. And then we're going to clean off the residue. Most of it's gone. It's always gonna leave like a very thin film of the stuff, so we can't completely remove it. As you can see, as it dries, it kind of leaves behind that residue. But it is what it is. All right, let's put some here. Let's scrape up this stuff. Right now I'm just spreading the rubbing alcohol over the residue, and then we'll scrape it up. Okay, this stuff came up pretty easily. Let's go ahead and use the paper towel and clean it off. Get off that goopy stuff. There we go. We're gonna need some clean paper towel to clean off more of the residue if we can. Okay, spray some rubbing alcohol in there. Clean that off. Over. It's about as good as we're gonna get. Okay, there we go. Actually, there's still a little stuff there. Okay, there we go. Now we got all the adhesive residue out. We're going to get the replacement battery and drop that into place. So the replacement battery comes like this. All right, there's this more solid plastic layer on the bottom. We're gonna have to peel that off. So just go underneath and peel this up. I'm gonna just roll it back like this. Okay, just like that. There we go. All right, we're gonna want to make sure that the screw mounts line up here. Okay, so we got the 2 screw mounts here. We're gonna flop it over like this. Again, it doesn't have this plastic piece here, that's fine. So make sure those screw mounts line up. Oh, one other thing to make this easier to install, you'll want to actually bend this forward all the way here at the edge where the battery lines up, meets, and then you can pull this backwards, okay? So let's go ahead now, get this all lined up. Make sure those screw mounts are good. Okay, and then we can drop it into place just like that. All right, let's go ahead now and put back the T5 or Torx 5 screws. Okay, we'll go ahead and put back the battery ones first, though it doesn't really matter the order. All right, and the second one. Go. All right, so now let's go ahead and put back the screws for the speakers. And down here. One up here. Over here. And one over here. Alright, so it looks like the screws from that back panel, they actually broke the metal back panel, so we're going to actually take these 2 screws back here and we're going to put them in the corners when we go to put the cover back on. These screws usually are shorter than the others, but actually it looks like somebody worked on this before. So normally these 2 back screws in the center are shorter than the others, but it looks like they used the wrong screws. Maybe that's why it got torn out. Okay, anyways, make sure that the battery is pressed down all the way, and then we're going to reconnect this battery connector. So now that we had that bent, we're gonna have to push that in like that. Let's zoom in a bit. Okay, and the easiest way to get this connector in is to get one corner in first. So focus on one corner, just like this. All right, once you get that corner in, then you can go ahead and use that to help guide the rest of it, just like that, and push that down. If you want, you can transfer over the little sticker from the old battery here. Okay, so I'm gonna actually peel that off. Let me show you here. So we got this sticker here. We're gonna actually peel this off all the way and then see if we can transfer it over. So just peel this up. Okay, just like this. Go. Set that aside again. All right, let's see. Will this stick on? We might not need. Okay, this actually has like serial number stuff. All right, so let's see if it'll stick. Just put this back here and stick that on just like that. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get the cover back on. We're almost done. We're gonna have to do a PRAM and SMC reset, and then after that we're good to go. But anyways, let's go ahead and put this cover back on. Just get it lined up, click it down into place. All right, we're gonna switch back to the P5 or Pentalobe 1.2 screwdriver. Oops. Okay, and then let's go ahead and put the screws in. Again, they were missing 2 screws. I'm transferring the 2 middle ones because the aluminum here is actually broken. So we're gonna see if we can put these in the corner, and hopefully that will hold the case in place. All right, sorry, it's losing focus, but all right. If you want, you can actually just put in like the 4 corner screws first and then test it before getting all the rest of the screws, just in case the battery's defective or anything like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the PRAM and SMC reset. We've got those 4 corner screws in. We'll flip the MacBook over. They actually have a cover on top of here, but let's flip it over. All right, so to do the SMC reset, you're gonna do Control-Option-Shift on the left side and then the power button. If you have the charger plugged in and the light is orange, when you press that, it should go to green and then back to orange. That's how you know you did the SMC reset right. Now we're gonna do a PRAM reset, push the power button, and then Command-Option-P and R. Hold those down. Assuming the battery came charged, this should go. Okay, you should hear the chime. You can keep holding it until you hear the chime a second time, and then you can let go. There you go. So now we can let go. The first chime was the volume was at the minimum. When you do a PRAM reset, it actually resets the settings, so the volume actually goes back up to like the max or something. But anyways, there we go. The Mac is on. We should be good to go. I'm gonna just shut it down and put back the screws. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, and share my channel with others so that they can also learn how to upgrade and repair their devices. Again, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little bit to the channel so that I can continue making these videos for a living. Actually do these repairs for a living 24/7, running my business. But yeah, and let's get the rest of the screws. Thanks for watching, and that's pretty much it. All right, last screw. All right, see you all later. Let's drop this. Bye.